5:30 to surround these news tents. Say we will interview Captain Ray so white America sees that he supports us.
You need to get in touch. You know, Darren.
I did. I talked to him. He said he's going to talk to him later.
I will tell. See, white America, all the news media that is owned by super rich white men.
I know.
They want to show.
See the negative.
Black,
I agree.
They want to show. And then white people in America. Oh, look at them.
Yeah, I know. They want to see
What?
that.
If they want. They don't
And they
want.
getting what they want because this is what
The media.
their way. Look, this is the way our culture can only respond.
Exactly.
You understand? Because we
Exactly.
don't have nobody out there that's in the white media
Yes.
speaking up for us
You
like
are
that.
right.
You understand?
And you should
So
demand.
therefore, we can't say what we don't know or don't have.
Yeah.
But now, since you to present yourself,
Alrighty.
that would make
I will tell
show.
them how Darren
know.
Wilson
You want to go
murdered.
talk to Derek again with me, so remind him.
But see,
I'll text him that.
it's got. I think tonight.
You wanna go with him?
Okay, go ahead. I'll be down. I'll be back here, guys.
Captain Lewis, Alex Salazar, how are you, sir?
Alex,
Hey, how are you there?
for some reason I pictured a much older guy.
Okay.
You're too young to have all the experience you
Oh,
have.
great. Thank you. I'm here filming right now a little bit, and I see you out here for a while now and basically talking, breaking the code of silence and discussing these issues of racism within law enforcement. As you know, I came from LAPD, and we had the Rodney King incident, which resulted in the worst riots ever in United States history. And here we are again now revisiting the same problem. Doesn't look like we learned our lesson in trying to learn about what happened in Los Angeles. And so you were just talking about white America.
White America and white racist media. The media is totally racist. That's the you have to understand who owns the media.
Right.
You have super filthy rich white men who are multi-billionaires, not millionaires, but billionaires.
Right.
They're sociopathic. You don't get up and go out to work in the morning when you have billions of dollars already to make more money to hoard when there's so much need for that money. A person who does that is a sociopath.
Okay.
So we have sociopaths leading the media in this country. They own the media. And what they're doing is they're only showing the blacks rioting, the blacks looting, and Michael Brown Jr.'s stepfather shouting, "Burn this country down! Burn this place down! Burn this place down!"
Right.
Over and over and over and over. That's all you see. Some people here in Ferguson, when I was out here in August for 10 days, and this time for 10 days, they went up to CNN, to Fox, to different stations. They said, "Why aren't you interviewing Captain Lewis?" Well, we'll get to him. Well, my producer is not here now. They made
Okay.
excuses.
Okay.
They knew they weren't going to interview me. They do not racist white media.
They can't handle the truth.
They
Is the
can't handle
problem.
the truth. Oh, they don't want the truth.
They don't want the truth.
They
There you
don't
go.
want the truth.
Okay.
They know the truth.
Right.
They can handle the truth because their benefit. The truth is they're destroying this country and its people.
Right.
So they can make more money. They will not put my face out there because they know white America respects more than anything else either a white commanding officer of a police department or a white commander of the U.S. Army. They are the type of people white America respects. They are not going to get me out there to say Darren Wilson murdered Michael Brown Jr. They're not going to get me out there to say that it was the investigation by the Ferguson Police Department was a cover-up, and they will not get me out there to say that this Bob McCulloch and the grand jury was a total disgrace, and that was a cover-up, and McCulloch should go to jail. He should have recused himself in the beginning solely for the fact that he stated he always wanted to be a cop, more than anything. He lost a leg to cancer. So he said the next best thing in prosecuting criminals would be a DA. So that's where he is. So he has that mindset already set up, okay?
Right.
And now, his uncle, his brother, his cousin are all on the St. Louis Police Department. His wife, his mother, McCulloch's mother, worked for the St. Louis Police Department.
Okay.
You telling me this guy's going to be fair?
Right.
He should have recused himself. It was an insult to the black community.
His father, in fact, was killed.
Oh, I forgot to make the biggest thing.
Right.
The biggest thing is his father was a policeman who was killed by a black man.
Right.
Thank you. I forgot the biggest thing.
Right.
Now, so he's in charge of that. Is a slap against justice. What would it hurt to have had him recuse himself? He didn't recuse
Exactly.
himself because he wanted to control the outcome.
Exactly.
He wanted to. Now, then he has two assistant district attorneys. They don't do anything without him knowing. They operate on his instructions.
Of course.
Fully. He had them give to the jury as soon as it got together, a copy of a law that stated that a police officer can shoot a fleeing suspect,
And that was dismissed in
not a
1985.
felon, not a fleeing felon where you know, hey, this guy just robbed a bank or this guy just shot somebody. No, a suspect. It said the police officer then can literally be the jury,
Right.
the judge and jury. What happened was the cop shot a man who spit on him and was running away. He shot him in the back for spitting on him. Well, we can go so far in this country, but the Supreme Court said we're not going to allow the police to go that far. They overruled that law in 1985.
85. I told you.
This was given to each member of the grand jury as if it was still a law. Now, what do you think that grand
Oh
jury?
my gosh, that really was done then.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know. So you brought some old.
Check Lawrence O'Donnell's show.
Oh my
Lawrence O'Donnell
gosh.
disclosed that.
Right. No, isn't this that same state though where it was the last state in the union to abolish the slavery after it was ordered? Missouri.
Dred Scott.
Right. The Dred Scott
was
decision, 1859. They refused a black man to be free, even though he was from.
After.
Right.
So
I
you see
mean.
the history of the area.
Yes, this is and it's still here. Are you Caucasian yourself, or what's your
Yes,
background?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's amazing that you're here as a white man. That's something that a lot of people won't want to hear
yeah.
because you're seen as kind of being an apologist for the people. However, what you
Oh,
know
no, a
is
lot of people want to hear it though.
right,
a
exactly.
lot of white people, like I said, if I was out here with the long hair and the beards and whatnot and the scraggly beard, no, then I'm dismissed as an anarchist, a hippie.
Right.
White America, I'm telling you, they respect an army commander or a police commander more than anything else. And they will give pause if I tell them that the situation says that Darren Wilson murdered this guy, that it was a cover-up, the investigation, that
course.
the grand jury is a cover-up.
Right.
They might not agree with me fully right away, but I'm telling you, they'll pause. They will listen. They'll say, wow, a white police commander saying this
Right.
and that.
Now, talking to police officers out there, because that's who I work with. I work with a website called renegadepopo.com. I'm a former police officer. I also saw what you're talking about here, which is the code of silence. Okay, a lot of these police officers have a hard time dealing with denial and with this exact issue. They don't want to talk about it. I have friends that are still law enforcement that are kind of stuck there, and they try to justify for what happened to Brian. I'm sorry, to Michael Brown. Okay, and so what do you say about that to these guys who, I mean, they're trying to stick a a square peg into a round hole?
Are you saying some of them maybe think it was an unnecessary shooting, but they don't feel comfortable in feeling that way?
Exactly. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. They have mixed feelings. They know that maybe this guy, once he had his hands up, he shouldn't have been shot.
Yeah.
Yet, you know as well as I do that during a termination of a pursuit, prior to Rodney King and video cameras coming out into the picture, that you were supposed to beat that person to teach him a lesson not to run away from the police. And so there's this mentality here where a lot of these guys are sometimes pumped up and they go overboard. They lose control, much as somebody would during a road rage incident, where they simply snap and it's overkill. They go overboard.
Yes.
And that's the problem that we have. I mean,
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons we have that problem is police departments, before Darren Wilson ever became a police officer, and many others, they should have been rejected. All right?
Okay.
They go through a lot of tests, police officers, physical, background check, intelligence, and also the most important test given is what they call the Minnesota multi-phase.
MMPI.
Yes, personality inventory test.
Right.
That gauges a lot of aspects of your personality. A couple of them are your degree of sensitivity and empathy,
Right.
compassion. If you score too high in compassion and empathy, they reject you. They want the harder guy. They want the guy that's, because they think if you're too compassionate or sensitive, you will quit because you won't be able to handle the tough blood and guts of the job. Well, that's nonsense, because for every few people you have quit because they can't handle the blood and guts, you have a whole bunch now that you've recruited that are hard ass, and they result in brutality, which costs you millions of dollars in lawsuits. So you may lose some thousands of dollars by a sensitive person quitting, and when I say lose thousands of dollars, that's because of the training. You're paying them to be trained, then they're on for a couple months or a year and they quit.
Excuse me, you guys. Oh, go ahead,
But
Kevin.
that's penny wise, pound foolish, because now you're giving out millions of dollars in lawsuits. Not only that, you know what's even more important than losing the financial the finances of this, is you lose the relationship with the community.
Right.
That's the most important part in policing, is establishing a relationship with the people you serve. And if
Right.
you have compassion, that's how you solve crime, by the way, too.
Right.
You can have all the forensic evidence, you can have all the technology you want. You solve your most crime by getting information from the community, by having the community work with you. You can people in black communities see the police already before this militarization. They see the police as an occupying army.
Right.
And subsequently, there is no relationship there. So even more important than the money that you're losing, it's that relationship with the community. For a police department to successfully serve the community, they have to have a community that trusts them.
Right, right. And it seems like law enforcement has gotten away from that, and it's become militarized, much in the way that Radley Balko in his book, Rise of the Warrior Cop, he talks about.
The reason it's become militarized, you're super rich in this country, saw the uprising with Occupy. I was one of many who surrounded the New York Stock Exchange and got arrested. There was a lot of people that day that surrounded the Wall Street. They saw this Occupy. They saw Occupy movements around the world
Okay.
being against the super rich. The super rich in this country said, whoa, that might happen again on a bigger scale. Now, we can always put that down because we do control the military. But if we put the military in, white America is going to get very upset by the military coming in and calling for martial law. White America will not tolerate that. So what do they think of? I know what we'll do. We'll militarize our police departments so that when these uprisings arise, like Occupy, the local police departments who have been militarized will be strong enough to put this uprising down. And that way, white America will support it because it's their police departments. Now, initially, people were getting a little upset. Wait a minute, we don't want all these tanks and all coming into our towns and cities, militarizing our police department. So what does the super rich media do again? Okay, we're going to set up something where white America is going to want. They're going to not only want military to come into their police departments, they're going to insist.
They're going to appreciate
So they're not only appreciate, they're going to insist from their lawmakers, their city government, their town government. We want military equipment. We saw what happened in Ferguson. We saw the media coverage. We saw the burning and looting. I don't want my town burned down by black animals. I want tanks to stop them.
Right.
So white America now, they don't have to force, not white America, super rich white America
Okay.
does not have to force military equipment on these towns and cities. They're going to have the police welcoming it. And now also this is a tremendous boom for the military industrial complex of giving more and more supplies. And soon, although they're donating a lot now, you always donate something to somebody. Then once they get used to it, they're going to have to continue it. Now
Right.
they're going to have to start buying.
Now, this all seems really extreme here for some people, in the sense that it might become like Palestine. I mean, all this investing in all this hardware that you're talking about to maintain the militarization. In fact, I guess some of the protesters here have been speaking to the people out in Gaza and the West Bank. They've been giving them tips on how to survive the oppression over here. What do you think about that?
No, I don't think we're getting any information. There's no connection between the people here and the people in Gaza and whatnot. No, it's not, it's
They were
not
talking about on
advanced.
Twitter that something like that was going
Okay,
on.
but still, it's not that advanced. It's nowhere near organized like that. Nowhere near. This is just a bunch of local people and some outsiders from St. Louis and whatnot who are just ticked off at the way this happened, and they're venting. They're frustrated, but this is no organized movement at all. If
Okay.
they were organized, they would have used me. They would have used me. They did not use me at all.
I wouldn't say that they're not organized. I don't think they may be organized in completely the right way. To say they're not organized is kind of unfair because this right here is clearly organization. We shut down several malls and across the country over $2 billion in sales were stopped yesterday for Black Friday. So what I'm saying is we are organized, but as the movement proceeds, we need to organize in the right direction. And people like you who say prophetic things like this, that you're speaking the truth. And like you said, as a white male, as a white officer, white America will appreciate that. Now, I've been hearing your message, and I've been spreading your message for as long as I could. But the reality is we need you. We need that face.
Yeah, but
I'm
see,
gonna do
you're
what I can.
spreading it, and that's great.
I'm going to do what I can to spread
I
your
know,
message.
but see, you can't get it to white America like CNN, like
Oh,
Fox.
absolutely.
And
But
that's
what
what
you're
these
saying-
people have to demand.
I'm going to demand that because, see, I know people at color lines people who have 1 million subscribers over in Oakland who
Okay,
are
but
writing this shit. I'm gonna call them tonight, and I know people, and I'm gonna make this shit viral because we got a video of what you said,
Yeah,
and what
okay.
you
I
said. You've been here
appreciate
4 times. No, this is unreasonable that we have people over there still screaming at the cops. Because like you said, that venting. Yeah, people are pissed that people need to vent, and that's just human reaction.
Right.
But the reality is shit doesn't change until we act upon like reality and organize around things that will move forward. I'm telling you, I'm going to make your message heard because you are. Unfortunately, I hate this. I hate the fact that we have to reach up along the hierarchy to make shit happen for us below. But the reality is we need that.
What hierarchy? You're not placing me as the upper
No, but
hierarchy, right?
as
I'm
white
one of you
America, no,
guys.
I understand that, but as white America sees it,
I have
like
no
you
power.
said,
I have no power except my
but
word.
besides your word, that is power.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what I'm saying. White America sees you as a respectable man. We will look at you as white America and say, hey, you sir, I won't listen to that black guy with long dreads, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But this man is a uniformed officer who's protecting my community, so I'm going to listen to you. And I need that to be spread because what you're doing is you're fighting for the cause. We need allies. It's not just about us fighting because they're going to sit there all day.
Yes.
The cops are going to sit
Yes.
there all day with the military and everything. But until people like you come up, this is going to start.
But
to
when I
solve
do,
problems.
you got to utilize me.
Well, we will.
You
I
got to
promise you.
surround
I
CNN.
promise you, I'm going to do
25
whatever I
people.
can.
25
No,
people
we're gonna get
shout.
hundreds. We're gonna get
Interview
thousands, I
Captain.
promise you.
Interview Captain Ray.
This is going
Interview
viral.
Captain Ray. Interview Captain Ray.
Captain
My name is
Ray,
Ray.
McCullough,
Ray. R-A-Y.
all of them. We're going to make sure that they're held accountable because yelling at the cops, yes, it helps our souls. It helps us release that.
Oh.
But when we want shit to change, we want actual systematic change.
It's got to
that's
be
what
a
they talk about.
dual-pronged process here.
It's going to be more than just, we're going to have all.
I say burn all this shit down.
No.
Ooh.
That's the
Burn all
venting.
this
That's the venting.
Brother.
And that is
I've seen him
respectable.
on TV.
I
He's
understand
been
why
on
he's
TV,
saying
right?
it.
What's that?
He's been on
He's
TV,
upset.
right?
Yes.
But that-
Brother,
He's
come
Been
here,
going
man.
up against that.
Tell me, man. Why, brother?
Motherfucking to Iraq over here,
Uh-huh.
goddamn.
You know him.
Okay.
He's
So-
one of the good. He's a former chief.
I say we turn this shit into motherfucking Iraq. Why?
Uh-huh.
Because shit, even if we do shit, oh man, fuck that shit. Even if we do this shit peaceful, the shit still happens to the motherfucking negative motherfucking shit. The shit do what? Still come around and shit. They still do the same motherfucking shit, even when we peaceful. And fucking shit, they still arrest motherfuckers and shit. They still chase motherfuckers. They still rush me. For what? So why be peaceful if they gonna continue to do the same motherfucking shit?
Right.
So it ain't no point. So I say we might well burn all this motherfucking shit down and shit and just turn this bitch to Iraq.
And because you think that they're not going to do anything.
They ain't gonna do shit.
Uh-huh. What do you think
That's
the-
why they sending that's why they sending National Guards down here. Why? Because they weren't gonna do shit in the first motherfucking place. That's why the National Guards here now. These motherfuckers ain't here to motherfucker protect our lands. They ain't shit. They here to kill our lands.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Protect and serve ain't got nothing to do with protect and serve.
That shit dead.
Uh-huh.
Protect and serve shit. It ain't no more protect and serve no more.
Mhm.
No more. Why?
Uh-huh.
Why? Because it don't matter if we peaceful as hell.
Uh-huh.
The negative shit still happen to our lands, regardless of this shit. They still hit our lands with their sticks. They still slam our lands to the motherfucking ground, put their knees and every damn thing else on. So